Okay, today I will present you the new indoor multifunction stadium at sport complex that is located at the center of Jakarta. As a background, this is a fast track project which is commissioned by the Association of Basketball of Indonesia and also the government of Indonesia because we have an event due for August 2023 basketball event that will be co-hosted by the Japan, Philippines, and Indonesia. So up to now, I haven't got any idea whether the final will be hosted in Philippines or in Jakarta. What you see right now basically is the progress that currently ongoing with the construction on site. You see the building here. Selections of materials right now are being discussed. What I present to you may not be necessary the final selections that is selected by the contractors, because how we deal with government project here is quite different from other in other countries, whereby we are doing the basic engineering design. From then there is a schematic design for the schematic design, and then after that there is technically we handle differently, whereby there is another consultant that is commissioned by the contractors to continue our works. The event, the building itself will be located at the Gelora Bung Karno. Gelora Bung Karno is the main stadium whereby usually we have our last Asian Games 2018, if I'm not wrong, were hosted in these buildings after much of renovations. This is started in 1960, whereby we had the Asian Games the fourth. Okay, the view is very empty because that's the only structure, along with two more stadiums that is hosted, that is designed to host badmintons and other stuff. 1990 view, we still have much greener structures because this also act as a what's called a lung, the green lung of Jakarta, which is currently we have less than ideal numbers. And then the government tried to recover the green area based on other facilities they can recoup from their inventories. And then because this one commissioned by the first president, the whole structure here consider a conservative area. Conserved area. I mean, that is a preserve, even though we have a lot of renovation works for the event of Asian Games, but we try as much as possible not to intervene with the characters. That is basically what we are going to do with our new building, because this building would be considered the first and the last structures in this sports complex. The architects that is basically part of the Heritage Association, basically they have objections to have a new structure here, but because of the location is very strategic, so the government decided that this will be the best decision they have with regards to whatever controversy may arise later on. We try to create something that is very short in time, but try to meet the international standard, especially from FIBA. Okay, and then we come up with something that is two massing, basically the top and the bottom. The bottom or the podium reflects the current structures of the characters. We have a couple of structures that basically contribute to the characters that we have for the podium. But the top, where is the head of the stadium, basically represent the craftsmanship. We try to create a narration whereby the craftsmanship basically is part and parcel of our daily life, and then that basically will make people easily relate to the building. So try to ease the controversies very much from the local folks. What we have right now, the building will be on the northwest of the main stadium. We have a lot of facilities after the fourth Asian Games and the last renovations, but basically this the only structures that is allowed based on consensus that is given by many stakeholders. This is the first story plan. Okay, FIBA is as what we have with other stadium that is designed. Usually, they have very strict zones. On the left side, actually is services, and then also the parking area for the athletes, and the lower part where we see the orange color basically for the publics. It's an open plaza where we have on the left and right uh, escalators that lead people to the lobby and the second floor. And then the green area is for the executive parking. So whatever event supporting facilities will be hosted and at the ground floor that include the media, changing room, and so on, also along with the official rooms and executive lounge. Coming into the inside area, the red color represent the MEP equipments, and then this is what basically the supporting facilities for the flying field. We designed this with consideration that not only basketball to be hosted, but also like ice hockey and other indoor sports. Second floor, where the tribune starts. The tribune starts basically, there is part of the tribune that is accessed from the second floor, but going into the first story, whereby it is retractable seating, okay, is a telescopic seating, but others basically is a corridor at the perimeter rings, and then from the corridors we enter the tribunes, and we have two training field on the left side, and then the commercial on the blue colors on the right side, and the yellow color is basically where the public will access the internal corridors. Okay, our ongoing discussion with the appointed consultants, basically there's some changes, if you see this drawing, happen to be on the core of the lift core and the staircase core. Okay, this is the third floor, whereby the third floor we have the executive box. Okay, executives, basically the presidents and so on will be stay at these third floors, and then the circulation of the third floor will be isolated from the public access as part of the requirements. And this is the fourth story, whereby we can see also other additional massings on the left and right will act as a place for MME equipments. And this is the top, and then this is numbers of tribunes. So this is the buildings from the north and south. The north, basically we can the facade will face the national broadcast televisions, and south elevation basically we can see from the main stadium. There's two different things, because people will be coming from the south elevations. Now the south elevation, the podiums, we need to tie back with the surrounding characters. And the top, basically we have two options for the finishes. One is the aluminum panel, not aluminum composite panel, but aluminum panels, and the other one is a stretch membrane. We can say some of it come with the brand of Ferrari and so on, that it is translucent materials that allow fissions from inside to outside. Okay, and then also allow transfer of air, because we actually asked to make this building as efficient as possible for the energy consumptions. That's why the corridors at the fourth floor and part of the third floor will be a natural fan. Okay, so being natural fan, basically we try to create, if it is aluminum panel, it will be perforated. If it is stress membrane, like the fabric from Ferrari, then basically it is already a breathable materials. So that comes in all panels that going on, just like we call the form basically mimicking the daily food containers that is carried along by Japanese people, especially during the event of celebrations. Some sections we had here, the controls of the authority here controls the height, because we don't try to compete with the main stadium. So the main stadium, the perimeter height is about 36. We are pushed to 32 on the eve of the roof. That basically is controlled by the governments. Okay, so if we see this one, how the building works, quite straightforward. Okay, along with other 16,000 capacity seating for the stadium alike, this is the most compact footprint ever, because we are about 15,000 square meters GFA. Other come up starting at least 70,000 square meter and beyond. We are constrained by the size of the location. That's why this is very compact. Okay, and then whatever this that we put here, still we try to adhere to the international standard given by FIBA. Okay, so this is the skin sections. So the skin section that allow some maintenance access. Okay, at every skin level for easy maintenance, and we still provide access from the top for gondolas, but prefer to have an access at every level of panels. Okay. Okay, so this is some more detailed sections how this elevation and then its panel work out. We work with Meinhardt as our facade consultants. That's why the idea is not to create from composite panel, but aluminum panel itself directly. So it need to be sourced to the suppliers, and instead of there is some benefit that given by the aluminum panels. Notably, we had incidents in Jakarta whereby one of the government buildings had fire incidents, and then some of it basically contribute by the utilization of aluminum composite panel, which is non they use the non-fire rated materials. So the issue here is basically we try to avoid, because the authority asks us to really concern about selections of materials. So that is one constraint that we have here. Okay, this is another view. This is one panel. So the panel is basically about 3 meter over 3 meter by 1.2. Some views, okay, that we see here. So with this natural fan situation, we try to borrow as much as possible the lights from outside. Basically, the sports complex official requires us to create building that is zero maintenance. To us, basically, we ask, I mean, like, there's no building which is zero maintenance, but minimum maintenance, yes, because zero maintenance means that you don't come up with a budget to maintain the buildings, which is basically is a big question. None of the materials in Jakarta so far that I know, even a glass, they come up, they actually after several years, because they don't provide coatings, then there is some stain happens because lack of maintenance and so on. So yeah, basically still maintenance required for these buildings. Some other views on others area. Okay. So we basically take out whatever unnecessary unnecessary constructions. Just leave it bare essentials for the building to perform. This is a very zoom, the scale of the panels you can see compared to the person sitting there. Okay, the elevations from if we actually put in real use, we can still see whatever structure behind the screen. But the last top two, we use the solid panel instead of screen because we don't. There's no necessity to provide the cross ventilation at the top because it's part of the utilities. Some view below, you can see the structures that come from the existing building. So that's basically the contributors to what we have. We have very modern approach in the beginning with some fee structures, columns, metals, but then again we have challenged by the heritage, and then because they cannot approve that, if we don't get their approval, then the building cannot go to the construction states. So we have very interesting characters from existing building here, but not everything can be replicated. So yeah, we just borrow the column characters and so on here. Okay, the panels, the colors that we choose, yeah, and that basically also control. But we insist to have the champagne gold colors as an accent to the narration that we built, that this one is a craftsmanship with this bamboo color things imbued, and then that also make a statement that this is the first and the last building after several years that is constructed, and be part of the modern characters that is injected to this area. Other than aluminum panel, we also use the roasters. There's roasters basically also provided by the next door facilities. So I think it's best to make it make it part of the building too, but only slight part because the rest is very much controlled by the aluminum panels and glass. Okay, this is the view from the south. Okay, this is from the main road. Okay, some kind of features for like a green wall and so on is introduced here. Formally, they want something more commercial oriented, just like a billboard. But then the heritage also thinks that may jeopardize the whole mood of the area. We insist to actually take out the fence because we feel that this should be a permeable space. People are invited, but then there's some security concerns that is happen, so that's why they still want to retain the fence here. Yeah, the view towards the main stadium. Yeah. Some area on the roof are required to be green or exercise to be a facility come with green. So basically we introduce the commercial area at the rooftop so people can go around and enjoy the greeneries that is provided. If this is just a greeneries, I don't think people will come up to the level of this and then doing something. But if there's a sense of destination happen, we create a hall at the third floor here on the further right. That basically makes people want to go up during an event. Okay, some lighting provided for the building. We try not to make it too much color fanfare and so on, because again, the whole sports complex basically very much controlled by the authority. So thank you for the time provided to me. I hope that one something that is can contribute to the community. Thank you.